There's another thing I want to talk about budget related, which doesn't relate directly to what was passed, but more it's about what has not passed, really. But before we do that, Louis, you know that we do have to welcome in our new David Pakman Show members. And there's a number of people to say hello to. Matthew Tiller, Glenn Crouch, Coney Waldron, Nick Guarnieri, and Rich Morris, and many others who are choosing to remain anonymous. Probably applying for some jobs, or who knows, they're probably working for some of those big media corporations.
Yeah, could
be. And if anybody found out that they were David Pakman Show members, it would not be good. That's all I can say about that.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah. Thank you, of course. DavidPakman.com/membership. So there is another budget proposal, which is getting almost no media coverage. Not surprising. We'll talk about it, though. It's called the People's Budget, and the House Progressive Caucus has put this forward. And Raul Grijalva from Arizona is one of the main people involved here. And it actually is a budget that I think looks to fix real problems as opposed to fake problems that are created for political gain through the solutions that benefit lobbies and big corporations. And I know that anything that seeks to address actual problems will probably be called leftist extremism. I mean, that's just a natural thing, right? If you address real issues as opposed to trumped up fake issues, you must be a left extremist. No question there. So here's the deal. I don't even know where to start, but a lot of these things make a lot of sense to me. Individual income tax policies that would change. Extend marriage relief credits and incentives for children, families, and education, but let the upper income tax bracket tax cuts expire, and let's go back to the Clinton era rates. I mean, come on, this is item number one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's forget about Barack Obama time after time saying he will not allow those tax cuts for the rich to continue and then allowing them to continue, right? That seems like a good starting point to me.
Of course.
Index the alternative minimum tax for inflation for a decade. Okay, this is something that if you're not following what's going on with the alternative minimum tax, you may not know that it is a significant thing, but it makes sense for that to be adjusted for inflation. Let's add in a progressive estate tax. Okay, this is the Sanders estate tax. It would be a repeal of the John Kyle Blanche Lincoln bill. Let's actually tax estates in a progressive way, as opposed to what has been proposed, which really, by the way, when we talk about encouraging laziness, $250 a week in unemployment benefits, that encourages laziness, Louis. But actually having to not pay any taxes for huge multi-million-dollar estates, that won't make people lazy. No. Corporate tax reform. Let's actually tax U.S. corporate foreign income as it is earned instead of creating these offshore tax havens. Let's enact a public option for health care. Let's negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies for prescription payments. Okay? Let's prevent cuts in Medicare physician payments for a decade. These are just logical things, Louis. These are actually addressing problems we have. Let's invest $1.45 trillion in job creation. All things included in the People's Budget, which has been put forward by the House Progressive Caucus. And you know what else is on here, Louis? Let's finally put some money into infrastructure, which will create jobs and will actually improve the country. And let's do something on high-speed rail. Let's fund something and get moving on that as we continue to fall embarrassingly behind.
Yeah, it looks like a great budget.
Well, you know, Louis, it addresses real issues. So it would be, if it ever made it into the corporate mainstream media, it would be called leftist extremism.
If it ever makes it anywhere.
Let's take a break. We'll be back after this. We'll talk about radiation levels. We'll talk about a flight attendant who went nuts after eating a pot brownie. Make sure that you like The David Pakman Show on Facebook, facebook.com/David Pakman Show. And we'll be back after this with plenty more still to come, including your voicemails and emails.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.